Hello and welcome. As you get more experienced in life, you often become the person everyone turns to for advice, right? And if you're that person, you also know what a heavy weight that can be. Well, today, we're going to talk about a powerful tool to help you manage that stress. It's called the Postman protocol. So let's just start with a really direct question. Take a second and ask yourself, are you a human being or are you a repair machine? It's a strange question, I know, but do you ever feel like you're just there to fix everyone else's problems? It's a role so many of us slip into without even noticing.
And it really comes down to these two roles. On one side, you've got the machine. The machine carries the burden, it lives with the stress, and it feels like it owns the results of everyone else's lives. But on the other side, you have the human. The human offers guidance, supports people, but, and this is the key, they detach from the outcome. That's the shift we're aiming for.
And get this, the burden that comes with being a machine isn't just in your head. It has real physical consequences. Research from Stanford actually found that the kind of chronic stress you get from constantly trying to fix other people's problems, well, it can physically shorten your telomeres. Telomeres are these little protective caps on your chromosomes. As they get shorter, your body's aging process literally speeds up. So yeah, carrying that burden is costing you your own time.
So how do we stop this? How do we make the shift? It all starts with a fundamental change in how we think. We need to move from an owner mindset to a gardener mindset. This one little change in philosophy can protect our peace of mind and, as we just saw, even our health.
This core idea comes from the brilliant thinker, Pundit Sriram Sharma Acharya. He said, be a gardener of life, not an owner. Just let that sink in for a second. It's all about nurturing versus controlling, and it completely reframes how we show up in other people's lives.
So let's look at what this means in practice. An owner, or a malik, feels totally responsible for how things turn out. They stress over every little imperfection and try to control everything. But a gardener, a mali, their focus is on the process. They provide water, they provide support, but they know they can't control the weather or exactly how every seed is going to grow. They do their part, and then they let go.
Now, adopting this gardener mindset sounds great, right? But to really do it, we have to recognize the common traps that keep us stuck in that owner mode. And there are 3 patterns in particular that are just so easy to fall into. Let's break them down.
First up, we have the venting trap. Oh, we've all been here. This is when someone comes to you, not because they want a solution, but because they just want to complain. You listen, you take in all that negativity, and they walk away feeling great while you're left feeling totally wiped out. You've basically become their emotional dumping ground.
I mean, we all know a Sharmaji, don't we? That person who's just the designated listener. A friend comes over, tells the exact same story about their daughter-in-law that they told last week, and then says, I don't need a solution, I just need to talk about it. That right there is the venting trap in action.
Next, there's the decoy trap. Now this one is a little more subtle. This is when somebody brings you a problem, but it's not the real problem. It's a decoy, a distraction from a much deeper issue that they're just not ready to face. And you can waste so much time and energy trying to solve the wrong thing.
For instance, think of a Mrs. Verma. She might complain constantly that her son never calls. And you might offer all sorts of solutions. Why don't you try calling him? Let's set up a weekly video chat. But nothing ever sticks. Why? Because the problem she's presenting isn't the real issue. The real issue is her own deep loneliness, which is much, much harder to confront.
And the third trap is the perfectionist trap. This is when your genuine desire to help gets twisted into an obsession with finding the one perfect, flawless answer. And this hunt for perfection just leads to endless debate and analysis paralysis. Ultimately, nobody does anything.
So here we've got Guptaji, the ultimate well-meaning expert. His friend asks for a little investment advice. So what does Guptaji do? He spends weeks building spreadsheets, researching every possible option to find the absolute best one. He presents this mountain of perfect data, and his friend is so completely overwhelmed that he just gives up and does nothing. All those good intentions led to 0 results.
Okay. So we've looked at the problem, we've talked about the gardener mindset, and we've identified the traps to avoid. Now let's get to the solution. Let's talk about a simple, powerful tool you can start using literally today.
It is called the Postman protocol, and the idea is just beautiful. Think about a postman. Their job is to deliver a letter to the right address. That's it. They don't write the letter, they don't sit there worrying about how the person is going to react to the news inside, and they definitely don't hang around to see what happens next.
They deliver it, and they walk away. Their job is done. So the protocol has 3 simple steps. First, acknowledge. You listen to the problem, you receive their message. Second, action. You deliver one small, helpful thing. A piece of advice, a phone number, a single suggestion. You're just delivering one letter, not the whole library. And third, and this is the most important part, detach, walk away. Your job is done. You don't carry the result.
So let's wrap this all up by really focusing on that core idea. This is all about understanding the difference between fulfilling a helpful role in someone's life and shouldering a heavy burden that was never yours to carry in the first place.
So let's lock in these final takeaways. 1. Listen to everyone but carry no one's burden. 2. Be sharp enough to spot when a problem is just a decoy. 3. Drop the stubborn need to find the perfect solution, just take one small action and move on. And finally, remember, your job is not to solve their whole problem. It's to play your small part and then exit.
And that leaves us with one final question. As you go about your day, and people inevitably come to you for help, I want you to think about this. Whose burden will you choose to deliver today, like a postman, instead of continuing to carry it on your own shoulders? The choice is yours.